Module 9.7, Musical Scales, Tuning, Intonation, and Temperament. Music is a universal language. All cultures seem to have some sort of indigenous music, and most melodic music, no matter what the origin, is based on a scale or a set of scales. So, what is a musical scale? A musical scale is a series of notes in ascending or descending order that follows a pattern of intervals. Most scale patterns fit within one octave. Last week in the lab, we recorded a chromatic scale on several instruments. That is a 12-note scale with a semitone or a half step between each adjacent note. Some other common scales are pentatonic, a 5-note scale used most characteristically in Asian, Celtic, and Native American music. A major scale, the most common scale used in Western music. Minor scale, of which there are 3 varieties common to Western music. A blues scale, a 6-note scale used extensively in popular improvisatory music like jazz and blues. There are many other scales, but since this is not a music theory course, we won't be looking at any of these in any detail. Again, remember that most scales are different ways of dividing up an octave. When we talk about pitch and scales, there are some terms that we need to understand. Many of them are often used incorrectly, so I'll try to make it clear what they mean. Tuning is the adjustment of pitch. If you've ever been to an orchestra concert, at the beginning, the orchestra typically tunes to the note A. So what's happening here? One of the musicians adjusts the pitch of their instrument using a tuner so that their A is at the agreed upon frequency for the musical group. Typically, that means that the note A equals 440 Hertz, but as we said in Module 9.4, it may be different. Higher for modern orchestras, lower for early music ensembles. Once that player has adjusted their pitch, the rest of the orchestra tunes to that pitch. So tuning is the adjusting of an instrument to a specific pitch reference. Intonation refers to the pitch accuracy of a sounded note. The phrases playing in tune or out of tune are references to intonation. Let's say that a musician tunes their instrument correctly. Even after proper tuning, most instruments have built-in irregularities which cause some notes to be slightly high or low in pitch. The musician must be aware of that and make adjustments so that all of the notes that are played are in tune, meaning with good intonation. If they don't make those adjustments, some of their notes will be out of tune, flat, low in pitch, or sharp, high in pitch, which is bad or poor intonation. Vocalists, trombonists, and string players who play non-fretted instruments like violin, viola, cello, and string bass have to be especially aware of intonation, as they do not have keys or valves or frets that determine specific pitches. They can produce any pitch within the range of their instrument, so they will be particularly aware of intonation. So good intonation means playing each note in tune at its correct pitch. Temperament refers to any intentional adjustment of the pitch of notes to create intervals with frequency ratios that are different from those of the Pythagorean scale. We will look at the Pythagorean major scale and 2 temperaments in the next modules.